Nicola Sturgeon has chastised former Minister Mark MacDonald for staying on as an MSP post-scandal, though she admitted she could not force his resignation. The First Minister said it would be appropriate for Mark MacDonald to stand down from Parliament and let his constituents in Aberdeen Donside elect a new MSP. The 37-year-old announced he had quit the party after the inquiry revealed he sent inappropriate and unwanted text and social media messages, caused distress with his unwanted attention, and exploited his position of power. An allegation by a third woman of inappropriate physical contact during a social event could not be proven by private investigators. The SNP said MacDonald resigned before the party's other MSPs could meet to discuss whether he should be expelled. Nonetheless, he said he would sit as an independent MSP next week, following a 4-month absence from Parliament. Although the scandal cost him his ministerial job in November, he will still be paid around £200,000 between now and the 2021 Holyrood election. Amid predictions of an impending parliamentary pariah status among his fellow MSPs, he claimed he had become a better, more empathetic and considerate person following behavior coaching, and offered a public and unreserved apology to his victims. In response, Holyrood's opposition parties urged the SNP to publish the full inquiry report and accused Mr MacDonald of putting the Nationalists' reputation before his constituents' interests. Tuesday, February 13, 2018. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle visit Edinburgh Castle during the first official joint visit to Scotland. His refusal to quit his seat means there will be no by-election. Ms Sturgeon said he was elected as an SNP MSP. If his behaviour is such that he himself considers he cannot continue as an SNP MSP, then it would be appropriate to give his constituents the opportunity to elect a new MSP, though she cannot instigate his removal. She has said she would be very optimistic of the SNP holding the seat if there was a by-election. Scottish Tory MSP Alexander Burnett said many people will rightly be questioning why Mark MacDonald thinks that his behaviour was bad enough to resign from the SNP, but not to resign from the Scottish Parliament. This saga has dragged on for months, yet we still don't have any detail on the allegations against Mark MacDonald. The SNP now need to come clean and publish the report into his behaviour so that the public can judge whether he is fit to remain as an MSP. John Swinney, the Deputy First Minister, insisted it was the responsibility of his former colleague to make his own decisions. The SNP said 18 witnesses were interviewed and the findings were presented to Mr MacDonald on Monday. Investigators concluded his behaviour was deliberate and he should have been aware it was not appropriate for an individual in his position, though it was impossible to reach a definitive conclusion. Investigators also believe there was no intention to doubt testimony of the third woman who alleged inappropriate physical contact. Mr MacDonald, who earns £61,778 per year, refused to take any questions and left the room after reading out his resignation statement in Aberdeen. He blamed his absence from Holyrood on the party misinforming him that the inquiry would be over within weeks. He also complained that he had only been given the precise detail of the allegations when he was interviewed for the first time, and he had been denied a copy of the report. While the 37-year-old father said his conduct was not physically abusive, the inquiry found that he had inadvertently caused the women upset, discomfort, or offence. Sturgeon meeting pupils during a visit to Levenvale Primary School last month. Absent of MacDonald, he apologised for the hurt and offence he caused and said he sent a heartfelt written apology to one of his accusers. Mr MacDonald also emphasised repeatedly that he had performed his constituency duties diligently following the scandal. A spokesman said Scottish Parliament would be discussing practical arrangements for his return with him soon.